You may have seen the news over the weekend. President Trump announced he's created a commission, a Reopening America commission, and he named the people on it. I have Matt, the wonderful producer, has, I believe, a picture of this council, the Council to Reopen America. I'm going to ask him to briefly put that picture up so you can see the people who are chosen by President Trump. These include, of course, Steve Mnuchin, who is the Secretary of the Treasury, Larry Kudlow, Director of National Economic Council, and advisor to President Trump, economic advisor. You have Robert Lighthizer, U.S. Trade Representative, Wilbur Ross, U.S. Secretary of Commerce, and Mark Meadows, former congressman, now President Trump's chief of staff in the White House, and Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner. I want you to see their pictures before I comment about all the criticism President Trump is already getting about the people he chose to name to that commission. First, he's getting criticism even from conservatives about these people aren't experts about coronavirus. They don't know anything. They're not supposed to be. These are not the medical experts. These are people talking about the economy, talking about what are we going to do? How are we going to move forward to bring America's economy back? A lot of criticism he's receiving also for putting his own family members on the council, Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner. All I want to say about that is this. President Trump came to Washington a major league outsider from the moment he declared his candidacy, from the time he won, entered the White House, surrounded by people, and many of whom he is not sure he can trust. He has people who've been in the White House in various positions in the administration, the State Department, Department of Justice, FBI, no idea what page they are on with him, whether they really support him or not. So yeah, it looks a little bit like nepotism, like why are my family members on this commission? But I don't blame him one little bit. The idea of having these people who are, to be clear, very intelligent adults, very familiar with President Trump's agenda for America, what America First means, what it means to try to bring our economy back, and people he can trust. So I think he took a lot of unjustified criticism and just of all the things you could be worrying about, the coronavirus and how well hydroxychloroquine might be working, what are our numbers, have we flattened the curve? You have the media and the left, and sadly, some people on the right spending time criticizing who he has chosen to put onto that commission, rather than talking about, are we moving forward, solving our problem with the coronavirus? I think his commission is going to do a great job. And I also want to close out the first five by saying this. Everybody wants America to get through this coronavirus problem. Everyone wants to be done with it. Everyone wants to find the best ways to help people. And so you have, in addition to all the concern about the virus, extreme growing concern on the part of millions of Americans. How are we going to get our country back? How are we going to get our economy moving? When can I go to work? I would rather be earning a paycheck than getting a check from the government. Forming this commission, even though we're still in the midst of the coronavirus, is another stroke by President Trump indicating he understands where the American people are. And on that point, where the American people are, I want to just tease one little headline. We'll go more to it later, but there was a poll done among Americans about how afraid they are about the coronavirus. And so the headline of the article reporting this poll, it was a poll comparing how people thought about this virus March 10th and March 11th, two-day poll versus April 9th and April 10th. The USA Today headline, exclusive in 4 devastating weeks, Americans' fears of the coronavirus have exploded. Now, Matt the Wonderful has a quick clip I want him to put up, and I'll show you, because I want to tell you the headline sounds like people are afraid of dying of the virus. That's what the headline sounds like. If you look at what they said, what has increased dramatically is Americans' fears over what the policies are doing to our economy and the global economy, the policies we chose to respond to the virus. There is an increase in the number of people concerned about the virus, and I'm sorry about that because naturally people are. The headlines are screaming every day. But the huge jump in fear in America, the question was whether COVID-19 poses a high threat. And the big jumps in people's answers were yes, actually, it poses a high threat to the global economy, to the United States, to the stock market. The tiniest jump, the smallest jump, and still the smallest by far, the bottom bar, is me personally, do I think COVID-19 poses a high threat to me? And the reason to include that in today's first five, as I really am wrapping it up, is to say Americans are figuring out probably the greatest damage to America long term. And the problem we don't know how to get out of yet is to bring our economy back, bring our country back to being America. And that, my friends, is today's First Five.